Our friend and attorney, Jed Dietrich, is back. And Jed brings up a really good point this morning, what to do and what to know if you are involved in an accident while riding in a Lyft or an Uber vehicle. And again, it's something I had not thought of until now. Good morning and welcome back.
Linda, pleasure.
It's great to have you here.
It's great to see you again.
Now, Jed, I would always assume if you get into a car like that, you would have the same situation as if you were in a bus or a taxi, no?
It's a little different. When you're in an Uber or Lyft, what to do after a personal injury accident in Buffalo. The first thing you got to do is get to the doctor. You got to get to the emergency room and get checked out. You don't know if these injuries are going to come about the next day or in 2 hours or 5 minutes after the incident. So the first thing you got to do is document that injury. After you document that injury, then the question is, you go home, the doctor says follow up in a couple of days. How are you feeling? If you're not feeling up to par, you need to contact an attorney. You need to reach out to preserve your rights. And the reason you need to do that is because when you're in an Uber or a Lyft, there are different rules that apply. The insurance company for the Uber or the Lyft, if you're a passenger, is responsible to pay for your medical bills, which again is strange in New York because it's a no-fault state, which means no matter who's at fault, the car you're in, that insurance company is responsible for your medical bills. So I have so many people come to my office and they say, well, I got hit from behind. Why does my insurance company have to pay for my medical bills? And I say the law has been changed, and it's to a certain extent good because you don't have to worry about who's at fault in the beginning. So in an Uber or a Lyft, when you're involved in a collision and you are a passenger, the Uber or Lyft insurance company on that car is responsible to pay for your medical bills. They're also responsible to pay for your lost wages. So if you've come out of work and you can't work, the doctor writes you a disability note. You come to my office, we submit that to the no-fault company, and then they send you a check every month to reimburse you for your wages.
Does the Uber or Lyft driver know this? That
The
they're on the
Uber
hook for
or
this?
Lyft driver may or may not know. Most of them don't. They don't know the rules. So if you get into an accident, you say to the driver, well, who's going to pay for my medical bills? Most likely they don't know. So the best thing to do is contact us at 839-3939. We're available for you. Now, another question is, and we've represented many people who are involved in Uber and Lyft personal injury accidents in Buffalo, is if the driver of the Uber or Lyft is injured. So you could be in an Uber or Lyft, you're sitting on Main Street in Buffalo, and you get rear-ended by another vehicle. Let's say you get rear-ended by a City of Buffalo garbage truck or something. Again, the medical bills are paid for the driver through the workers' compensation carrier for Uber or Lyft, which again is a little confusing because there's a no-fault carrier, which goes with the car, and then there's a workers' compensation carrier. So one of the things that happens very frequently in my office, Linda, is people are driving for a living. Let's say they drive for W. Mason or Office Max or whatever, and they get rear-ended. The question is, who pays for their medical bills? Well, actually, two organizations pay. The workers' compensation carrier for the organization the person works for, and then the no-fault company for the car or the automobile the person's in. So many questions when you're rear-ended because of a car accident in Buffalo, New York. We're here to help you at 839-3939.
Wow, that's very important to know because, like I said, I hadn't even thought of that. So if you're going to hire an Uber or Lyft, should you also make sure that you have their number and even, I mean, do they have information in the back seat like a cab does? So you can write down who their insurance is?
Well, what they try to do is they do it through their websites because they try to keep everything as streamlined as possible in terms of running all the information through their websites. However, I've represented a number of people who were involved in Uber accidents. They were passengers, and ironically, the Uber driver in these particular cases was not at fault. It was another driver who hit that Uber car. So then the question is, where does the money for the pain and suffering come from? Because the medical bills and the lost wages go through the no fault, but you call us at 839-3939 to get reimbursement for your pain and suffering. That can come from the other car that strikes the Uber vehicle, but if the Uber driver is partially at fault, it could come from two institutions, which is the Uber driver and then the other car. So in New York, we're lucky because you can have an opportunity to have multiple defendants and make a recovery from multiple defendants. We're here to help.
Remember, call Jed. Take pictures if you can, and call Jed in a timely manner. You don't want to let a lot of time go by. That's very important with something like this.
It is. You have to preserve the evidence.
Right. All right. So listen, now you know. The Dietrich Law Firm, Jed is there, and he knows this. Make sure you're going to an attorney who understands the law when it comes to Uber and Lyft, okay? The Dietrich Law Firm, they're right there on North Forest Road in Buffalo. Give them a call at 839-3939. or simply call Jed.com.